last time we talked about interval notation and set builder notation, and we looked at different graphs and put our answers in both notations. So we're going to add one more thing to this. This time you're actually going to solve and then graph. So remember, solving of inequalities, okay? Solving of inequalities is just like solving equalities. And the only thing different is that we have to remember that when you multiply or divide, okay? When you multiply or divide, not just divide, multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. Okay? You got to flip the sign. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and work a couple of these problems. So number 9, we're going to go ahead and solve. So I am going to move my 1. Greater than 7v minus 17. I'm going to move my 7 over. And guys, one of the things that I do, especially with inequalities, and you don't have to, but I think that it works better because of the way your signs and stuff are and not to mix you up, is to always, okay, move variables left, okay? It's going to just help you on not having it flipped around where you're trying to read it backwards. So negative 2v is greater than negative 17. Oops, sorry, my bad. I just caught myself here. Did you guys catch it earlier? Let me see. Let me get make that smaller so it doesn't. Get this here. Okay, how about me do a negative 18? Okay, negative 18. Hope you guys caught that. Okay. Make that look a little better. How about I do that too? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to divide by the negative 2. And again, since I am dividing by a negative, okay, I need to flip that sign. So now v is going to become less than 9. Okay, now here's my rule. It may not be all teachers' rule, but this is my rule when you're graphing on the number line. One is I don't need a whole bunch of numbers on there. I would like you to have 0 on there and the number you're graphing. Except for the fact when you're graphing a decimal value or a fraction, I want the whole number on either side. And I'll show you an example of that, if not on here, then in class. But this one's going to go to 9. And so I believe I need to put 0 here. And let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, do you need to do that? No, you wouldn't have to do that. Another way you could do that is put 0 even here and maybe do 3, 6, 9. Okay, in that case, you might want to put some numbers on there. But let's go less than 9. So I'm going to have an open circle, arrow going left. Okay, so my interval notation, again, I'm looking at, this is on the left, so that would be a negative infinity. And on the right is an open circle at 9. So 9 parenthesis. Okay. Now, if I was doing this in set builder notation, it would be x such that x is less than 9, again, with your braces on either side. Okay. So set builder and interval. Okay. Number 10, 21x. Now this is going to be a distributive property, so make sure you distribute all the way through. So it would be a negative 15x, and again distribute here, so a negative 27 greater than or equal to 7. Make this a little bigger for you. So I'm going to, in this case, combine like terms. So I'm going to get 6x minus 27 is greater than or equal to 7. I'm going to go ahead and just add my 27 over. So 6x is greater than or equal to 34. And divide by 6. Now I'm dividing by a positive 6, so I do not flip my sign. I'm going to keep it exactly the same. And you do need to reduce your 34 over 6 down. I believe that will divide by 2, which would give me 17 over 3. Now, when you go to graph this, 17 over 3 is kind of hard to figure out, so I probably would go in this case to a mixed number. And so 3 will go into 17 5 times, which is 15. That means there's 2 left over. So 5 and 2/3. So what I was telling you earlier, what I want you to do, so I'm going to put a 0. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5, there's 6. So that's what I want on here, 0 and the 5 and the 6, and then put the 5 and 2/3 where it goes. Now it should be closer to the 6. Whoops, I don't know why that keeps doing that. Should be closer to the 6. So I'm going to go right here maybe, and then it is greater than or equal to. Okay? So my interval notation would look like, on the left, it is a bracket at 5 and 2/3, comma, and then on the right, it's going to positive infinity, parenthesis. Okay? So there's you 2 examples of things that you're going to be solving. Most of them are as normal. Do remember that, like on number 12, if there's just the negative out there, if you want to, you could put a 1 here, if that helps you to distribute that -1 to both of those. You don't have to put the -1 there, but it might not be a bad plan. Okay? Again, remember that you're going to do a lot of distributive properties here, so be sure that you always distribute first. That should always be your first step. Okay? So remember that as a rule, is your first step should be your distributive property. Okay? And again, you're going to flip the sign when you divide. Okay, so when you get to class, this is what you're going to be working on, is solving these type of problems. If you feel comfortable and want to try a few more on your own, that would be awesome.